amazing things happening to celebrate generosity culture. And now we are spotlighting alumni giving and spotlighting one campaign. So it's a collaborative among alumni serving organizations and alumni networks, individuals. And we have Grace here as an alumni who's giving back and connected to her network. And just excited to see what's happening today. And Jane, can you tell us a little bit more about the campaign, specifically hashtagged When Alumni Give?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Catherine. Happy Giving Tuesday, everybody. I hope you're all well. So in Kenya, we see a wave of generosity. We see different organizations on social media talking about what they do, talking about their impact. We see people have come together. For example, in Uganda, people are using art to create, to show they're using art to show generosity that can be used to cut gender-based violence. We see university like the Strathmore University Foundation using the celebrating Giving Tuesday by raising funds using the alumni. So for the alumni campaign, we have a hashtag When Alumni Give, and this is a storytelling campaign that focuses on collecting and sharing stories of alumni who give back to their former school. So we intend to influence alumni to support their former school and use storytelling to create awareness of the importance of alumni give. So we are on social media using stories, using pictures, using quotes that inspire others on why they should give back, the impact of giving back, what that means to other children. And yes, it's When Alumni Give, and happy Giving Tuesday. Over to you, Catherine.
Thank you, Jane. Ken, are you part of the When Alumni Giving campaign? And what's happening on your end? What are you seeing? And how can other people participate in this?
Right, thanks, Catherine. Yes, I'm participating in When Alumni Give campaign. And what we're doing is to celebrate alumni giving, to inspire alumni giving, and to enable more people to give back to their schools. So that's the main aim for us by collecting stories that inspire people to give. We have seen a lot of stories of people giving back in terms of school books, buildings, mentorship, and several ways of giving back. So that's the message you are trying to drive out there, that giving collectively and individually as alumni can actually transform the education sector and our lives in general. Back to you, Catherine.
Thank you so much. And for those who might not have been aware of the campaign before today, what advice would you have for them on how they can participate?
Right, yes. So one is you can actually give back to your own school. You can pledge to adopt a school, to sponsor a student, to mentor someone. You can contribute to any fundraiser that your alumni network is running. If you are unable to contribute money or in material things, you can celebrate those who are actually giving. And you can also share your stories of how alumni giving has transformed or has helped someone within your networks.
Awesome. And we are privileged to have one of the alumni members, Grace, with us. Grace, what are you doing today on Giving Tuesday and, of course, any other day?
Hi, Catherine. Hi, everyone. So what we are doing, I'm an alumni of my former high school, State House Girls. That's where I'm actively involved. And as an alumni network, we are engaging with each other, sharing stories on this Tuesday. We are sharing our past, we're just reminding ourselves through the photos we've taken during our past activities, the programs we've conducted for mentorship, for giving, and even just going back to the school and doing a cleanup. So we are sharing those photos to just remind ourselves that when alumni give, you make a difference in a child's life. When alumni give, you are actually being part of a community and you're influencing change in your community. So it's one way that we're recognizing that, it's a forum that you can actually just be part of and make sure that you're participating in community development or being giving back to your community, in other words. So yeah, that's what we are doing today.
All right. And are those participating organized in formal ways, or even coming together informally to give back as an alumni group?
So currently we are trying to get our alumni network registered so that we are a formal alumni network, which will make us even extend our reach to a broader audience, or if I may say that, or to engage in broader activities where we will see a lot of governance and accountability in what we do. So for now, we are just an informal network, but we are working towards registering our alumni group and just making sure that we have follow-up and traction, and we are also inviting other members who are not part of this alumni group. So the aim is to get generational alumni into one group and giving towards one cause.
Awesome. And with the mention of generational giving, as the Africa Hub and globally, we're really keen and interested in exploring ways of connecting and having conversations across different generations, especially on generosity. And Dorothy, have any thoughts on your experiences in alumni giving? Does some of the things that Grace is speaking to resonate with you?
Dorothy, you're muted.
Okay. Yes, thanks. Actually, I really, everything that has been said this morning actually really resonates with us. And if I can speak from the diaspora perspective, as Africans Rising, we have a new partnership with a company which does remittances. And this is where alumni who are sometimes all in the same country outside of their home countries of origin can actually support their schools, support the universities they went to through alumni giving. So as Africans Rising, we're going to launch a campaign today, Giving Tuesday, 29th of November, to encourage those of us who are in the diaspora that this is another way of giving, because we give every day. We give every day to our families and relatives. African philanthropy is really strong and vibrant. So we want to actually now say, why not give to your schools and universities? And it really makes a difference, because those students who would benefit could buy books, anything. And so very excited to have a new campaign. So you can visit us on www.africans-rising.org. Have a happy Giving Tuesday.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dorothy. Now, I remember this conversation reminds me of a discussion I had with an administrator in my former school, and he's been trying hard to reach his alumni community. And I know, Ken, you work very closely with infrastructure and systems that help schools connect with the alumni communities. Could you just tell us a little bit more, and especially as a word of information and advice for universities and schools and other forms of schools that are listening to us today?
Right. Thank you, Catherine. Alumni giving is, as much as we have identified it as something that is very impactful, we realize that there are challenges in terms of channels of making those contributions, accounting for the contributions, and mobilizing those contributions. And we have come in to try and support alumni communities and schools, universities to overcome those challenges through a platform called Alumni Part, which basically is an association management and alumni engagement platform, where these alumni can organize themselves, can mobilize themselves, can do events. It can track all the payments that come in, and it reduces the work of the person in charge of communication or the treasurer or the person doing the mobilization. So we have had a number of institutions using the platform, and it has really transformed the way they receive the donations from alumni and has made it very impactful. We also do training through our Future First organization, Future First Kenya. We train alumni leaders. We do alumni tracing for institutions. And we also have an umbrella, an umbrella association for alumni networks in Kenya called Alumni Kenya. So this is a space where alumni leaders can come together and share the experiences and challenges as a community of practice, and also have a collective voice in terms of engaging with a wider audience. System change requires more participation from government, from the local community, from the schools themselves. And through this space, we are able to bring people together to be able to remove some of those roadblocks or obstacles to alumni giving. So thank you so much, Catherine. And yes, you can read more about us at alumnipad.com.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Happy Giving Tuesday.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ken, for that brief. And just also feeling a little bit appreciative today for all the organizations that have come together to partner as a collaborative and lead as a collective to celebrate alumni giving. I know a lot of work has gone into this, and I really can't wait to see how the campaigns are panning out today and for the week. And also to note that this is not just happening today, it's not just a one-day event, but this is a step towards a process and a movement that really wants to bring out the potential of alumni giving in the development of our education system. And I remember Grace did mention that the giving that is happening should also be contextualized within the broader conversation on structural challenges and the need for alumni to contribute their voice to as a philanthropic asset to deal with other structural issues that affect our education system. Grace, you want to give us a little insights on that, a second or two?
Yes, thank you, Catherine, for that reminder. So for me, when I think about alumni giving or the opportunities that, we can see in the future when we engage in the alumni networks, they're endless. And I'll just mention one or two. So when we speak about alumni networks, I see an opportunity where we grow our networks to the point that we actually are going to execute our civic duties in within those networks. And as a movement of an alumni network, then you're able to engage even the government and hold the government accountable with the kind of policies that they create and the kind of implementation they create in the education sector. So on top of what the government is doing, we have a voice as an alumni network to say, hey, we are taxpayers here and we need to hold you accountable as a government when it comes to the education sector. So that's an opportunity I see, that when we have strong alumni networks, then we will have like an authority. We don't have to all be in government to effect change, but we can effect change in those networks, in those movements, and together, united with one voice, then we can make the education system more superior than it is. We can make the learning in our schools better, and we can make them a futuristic kind of thing. So that's what I see, an opportunity upcoming from alumni networks. So also with alumni networks, you see that you get an opportunity to engage even the kids as they join institutions. So you can be an alumni network as early as you join your primary school. And I think there's another opportunity there where the kids can see joining a school as a lifelong journey as opposed to a 4-year journey and then you just go away. So having a strong alumni network will give a sense of purpose early enough to the children, where when they associate with a mission of a school, it's not just the academics that they're looking at. They're looking at associating with a bigger purpose in life that will carry them and make them stay focused when they journey on into the different stages of their lives. So those are two distinct opportunities I see that the strong alumni networks can provide for us.
Awesome. And that's a sure recognition and celebration of our voice too, right? As a philanthropic asset. And so people give in different ways. Yes. The alumni is donating back to their schools. They are giving their time. They are mentoring students. They are engaging in other civic activities that strengthen the education system. But they are also giving their voice. And that is something very powerful, especially when it comes to such a young continent. And Linda, interestingly, is running a campaign called Code Hive, if I'm not wrong, on Giving Tuesday today. Really interesting in a context where young people have not really dived into the world of science and coding specifically. I just want to give this opportunity to Linda to really explain and share a little bit more about that interesting campaign, a wonderful challenge, and how we can participate today. How is it going today for you, Linda?
Thank you so much. And apologies, I'm late. We have a busy time, and why we are here today is because our current class is actually just transitioning to be alumni tomorrow, which is really good. We were celebrating them as they wrapped up their projects today. So we're really grateful for that. And so at Akirachix, I'm co-founder and managing director at Akirachix, and we pretty much are working on building female tech talent from the African continent. We work with young women from underserved backgrounds who don't have access to tertiary education. And so this is a platform for them to be able to get skills in the tech industry and be able to secure jobs in the industry. So beating two birds with one stone, which is pretty much getting them to get jobs so that they can start uplifting their lives and those of their families, but also being able to get more women in the tech space. And so we've been doing this for a while, and our alumni has come alive in the last, I think now 3 years. And it's now, the one thing that I'm happy about is that it's very alumni driven than it is the organization driven. We work with young people from the ages of 19 to 24. So it's pretty much post high school. And so it's not necessarily they're giving back to a high school. It's giving back to an organization that supported them to be able to become the software engineers they are, and the kind of, be able to secure jobs in the tech industry. And we've seen alumni give back, in our context in very different ways. One is being big sisters in terms of they mentor the new class. So like now when the new class comes in, everyone picks a student, and the idea is to help them walk the journey. It's quite an intensive boot camp. And so it can really, you can get lost. And so when working with someone who was there before you, it makes it a little bit, the journey a bit easier. But also they're mentors, but also they give back financially. They started giving back financially. And the one thing they do, we do something we call a face-off, where a class competes against a current class on who can actually raise the most money. For instance, the 2023 face-off is the class of 2022 versus the class of 2021, 2020, and 2019. And the goal is for them to raise 2 million Kenya shillings, about $20,000 US, with the aim of contributing that to be able to get us to buy a backup power generator to be able to make sure that the next class doesn't struggle when it comes to power blackouts. Like yesterday, we had a whole almost day power blackout. It means nothing went on campus, but then everybody was like, I wish we had a generator, and everybody's like, we need to contribute for that generator. And so that's how they give back. So they're going to be competing, but also they're organizing a dinner. There's an alumni-led dinner where they're inviting the companies they work for to actually buy tables. Then they're able to raise about 10,000 from that. And so the total money they're looking to raise is $30,000 US, which will help in the purchase and installation of the backup power generator. And the one way we always, and I think we've seen happen, is that they actually end up having their names on the things they sponsor. So for instance, last year they sponsored our multi-purpose lounge, the structure. So tomorrow we unveil the people who contributed. So their names will be on the structure, which is a way of them they say being on the Hall of Fame. And the other thing that makes them like keep coming back, I think, so is also just being able to realize that their siblings, their sisters will come tomorrow and join the program. And so how do they go back and make sure that, yes, they might not be able to sponsor their entire $5,000 to be on campus, but then the little contribution will help them be able to go to the campus. So that's pretty much what we're doing. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And definitely looking and following your hashtag today on Giving Tuesday. Yeah, so do let us know on our social media channels how we can participate. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. And Jane, do you have one last word on how we can all and our networks, our friends, families participate and support the coalition when Alumni Give today?
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. For the Alumni Give campaign, we call on to everyone. We call organizations, both alumni serving and non-alumni serving, that have an interest in this. We call at individuals, we call at the youth who are just from schools. We call to everyone. Everyone can be part of this coalition that we have. And our key goal is to create awareness of the potential of alumni to give back. The other thing is that we want to highlight the contribution that alumni make to our country. There's so much contribution that alumni gives, and that is what we want to highlight. Then we also want to inspire potential supporters, formal or informal, to this alumni conversation. So we call unto you. We want as more organizations as possible. We want more individuals as possible. We want more alumni themselves as possible to join the campaign. So the hashtag is when alumni gives. When alumni give. Join us today. Share your story. We have a website we have a page on Giving Tuesday Kenya. You can just go there and learn more about what other people are doing, get inspired, and celebrate with us. Happy Giving Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Giving Tuesday.
Happy Giving Tuesday, everyone. We look forward to all the amazing things that alumni are doing today, because we know that this is not just Africa-wide, but it is a diaspora community and a global thing that is happening. So we really look forward to how everyone keys into this. And I will hope to see lots more campaigns and hashtags popping up across the day. We'll be keeping tags on it. Thank you so much for everyone who joined in.
Happy Giving Tuesday.
Happy Giving Tuesday.